All right, everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. And I have the brother. You know, we always rise up. Hey, Colin, what we gonna do tonight?
Okay, we're just going to talk about all the chicanery and tomfoolery that's going on in the black world. Seems like we're losing a grip. We're
Mm-hmm.
losing. We're losing on many fronts. First, we have this ADOS stuff that comes out of nowhere. At
Well,
a time when more black
let's,
people are trapped.
Colin, let's start there again. Let me say this: I don't agree with everything ADOS says, especially the
Right. I
anti-African
agree with that.
rhetoric.
Then, yeah.
But
And
what?
I thought, and I underestimated. How far this so-called. I thought it would be minimalized. Okay, we get people at least believing in African American and stuff like that. And I thought over time people see our point of view and stuff like that. But these people are going hard. I don't know if these are white trolls proposing as black people, but when I started hearing stuff like they sold us into slavery, it's AOS or die, and stuff like that, fuck Africa and all this kind of nonsense and everything, I'm saying, who the hell is leading this movement? Then you had more people co-signing stuff like Polite and Sinetta and all these people sort of co-signing this nonsense and everything. It seems like the whole argument about Pan-Africanism and everything is put to the side, and people are basically focusing on this so-called ADOS as if they really have a chance of getting reparations, which is tomfoolery. It comes right around election time. You know, we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the what's going on in Morehouse College. We're going to talk about this African, this Ivory Coast king who donates money to the burning cathedral of Notre Dame and his so-called allegiance with France. And I told people for years that people underestimated the relationship many Africans had with the Europeans. Okay, so in other words, basically, what's been happening for the last 200 years and as a impediment to Pan Africanism is many Africans feel that why go to the market to get milk when you can get it from the source, the cow? We're the market, right? We're marketing this idea of modernity and modernization and modern civilization and everything. And many Africans think that, well, the mother country or the mother civilization of modern civilization is Europe. Why do they need black people from the West telling them what to do, or why should they work with other African states? And this is why you have a crabs in a barrel in Africa, where no one's really serious about Africa pulling itself up. When you still have people like the guy said to me on one of the streams that we did in the comment section. He said, "Wakala, why do you worry about what Africans have to franc and everything? It's because of France is more stable." Look, get this: if you tell me that it's okay for Africans to be tied to the French monetary zone, when all the stuff that comes from the monetary zone originates in Africa, there's something seriously wrong. This is because there's a war on black men having real power. That's in America, that's in Africa, that's everywhere. Even black people are in Africa. Africans are apprehensive about black male power. Black male power. If a black president is not doing the bidding of Europeans, or he has too much power or influence over his people, or if he puts his foot down, uh, Europeans have a way of discrediting him in the eyes of his people. And this has been going on for hundreds of years. And we have never gotten a grip on that. You know, if you do something wrong in Africa, the easiest thing to do is hook up with an NGO or one of these international so-called organizations and complain to that country that your leader in your country is not doing you right and everything. And next thing you know, if that leader falls out with the Western countries, next thing you know, the military will fall out with the leader, and next thing you know, you have a coup. All this is happening all over Africa. It happened in Zimbabwe with this guy Manangagwa. He got green lighted now from the Chinese. Now the Chinese are power brokers in Africa. He went to China, and a few days later, the military took over the government of Zimbabwe and remove Robert Mugabe. Now people are crying for Mugabe back. This guy is giving all the land back to whites. And the Trump administration still has not lifted sanctions on him. He thought he was going to do a good thing by giving land back to the whites, and that's going to be the end of it. And what's happened is that nothing of the sort. It's happening all over the continent. It's happening all in America. And I want to ask a question. You know, we were born into this idea of white supremacy is not inevitable. It's not invincible. Nothing in this world is invincible. It's only invincible when you give up, when you give power to somebody and you don't believe in yourself that you can build and do the same things they can do. And so you think white supremacy is inevitable. You know, it's natural law and we have to follow the script. Now, some of us, like myself, don't believe that. I know, like I said, you know, when you look at the world and everything, I look at the world and I say, well, if the Asians can do it, if they can rise up and take control over Asia, and they could dominate Asia with Asian banks and Asian businesses dominate the region and everything like that, and militarily and stuff like that, have their own military capability, even nuclear weapons. Why can't Africa have the same power? And so the whole thing is this: if we don't really want to challenge white supremacy and everything, then we have absolutely no business preaching to anybody who to vote for, who to have an allegiance with, or anything like that, because you lose all credibility. If you want to sit in America and talk about the white man giving you a reparations check and everything, and you're not going to build anything, you're not talking about how can we improve our community and stuff like that, then you really have no credibility with the masses of people. And I believe only like a small percentage of black people are talking about this ADOS stuff. I know that to be a fact. And I do know for a fact that majority of black people are smart enough to realize that this is a hoax. There's no one's going to give a reparations check. And I'm going to explain why that's impossible and why it'll never happen. Okay? The whole idea of affirmative action was make sure that America covers its ass by giving token integration and talk about change and civil rights and everything, but at the same time make sure that black males stay in a stagnant state of being. And you see that right now with the inner cities and everything like that, lack of job, lack of mobility. There's no black infrastructure in America left. What we have left is on its way out. Look at the black HBCUs and stuff like that. All the institutions are gone. Ebony Magazine, many things that we grew up on and stuff like that. We came in the tail end of integration and everything. And there was this pressure for black people to conform, assimilate, and integrate, which doesn't mean you're ever going to be assimilated, but just make sure that you know that if the white man's news is the news, black man's news is okay, that's black news. You know, you don't get the real news is that you listen to, follow is the news on 6 o'clock on ABC. That's the news. You know, any black sort of platform is just a black thing. We'll give you little stuff to talk about and stuff like that. But the real news is what the white man says. Okay. And so, would you listen to what I was saying, Dinas?
No, I had to walk the mother of my child and my son out to the car. So
okay.
I caught some of it. You know, you're just giving a rundown. I know I heard you speak on Zimbabwe and that tomfoolery.
Yeah, tomfoolery. But it's all over the world.
But Colin, you know what's crazy?
Right.
So when Mugabe was ousted or whatever, resigned, whatever you want to call it, you had all these Zimbabwe expats like, yeah, Zimbabwe, Mugabe's gone, yeah, better Zimbabwe, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now the shit is just getting worse.
It's getting worse, and now what they thought was the Europeans were going to say, you know something, black people in Zimbabwe.
We feel sorry for you, black people in Zimbabwe. We're gonna
do the right thing. They haven't studied American history. They haven't studied anything about history. You know, I had a Liberian guy on Facebook the other day tell me that, Kala, man, diversity's here. You just accept it. I said, what do you mean by diversity? You're an African immigrant. Yeah, but America. I said, well, what do you talk about? America's diverse. America. And people don't like when I say this. America is still fundamentally a white country. You know?
What do you mean? I mean, why do people don't understand that? Like,
because they think they go on the job, whatever they do, where they're working at, that they're included. No, no, no. You are working for their system. You're working for their banks. You're working for their shopping centers. You're mopping floors in their restaurants. It's their system. Their system, their infrastructure. And so, like I said on the last program, the white man knows he got this shit. You could rise up all you want. The bottom line is he controls the military. You got they control the police. They control the courts. They got a million ways of putting your ass down. And they're not worried about who gets elected, whatever. Because the bottom line is, in these local municipalities, that's why you have the electoral college. They know that the people that are fighting for them look like them. And if you look like, and then the black people who do work for there. Have you ever heard of a black cop shooting a white person dead? Which is stuff for that case in Milwaukee. Excuse me,
No, 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 no.
Minnesota.
No, there was a case in
Minnesota.
In Louisiana where two black cops were shooting.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And what happened?
They killed the boy. The two cops were shooting at a white guy, but they killed the boy. And they locked his ass up so fast. No blue lives matter.
None of that blue lives matter.
Investigation. Yeah, none of that.
The police completely threw them under the bus and disassociated themselves. There was no NRA helping them. There was no GoFundMe and everything like that. We're gonna help these two cops with doing their job. They were just doing their job, and all stuff happens and everything. But when that 7-year-old girl got killed in Detroit in an apartment complex, when the cops busted down the wrong door and killed that 7-year-old girl sleeping and everything, the family just got $8 million, which is good. But I'm sure, and seeing that woman crying in court saying, "They just took my baby. They took my baby," and there was no empathy on part of the judges, the prosecutors, the jury, and everything to the hurt and pain of black people. Why? Because black people are expendable. Our hurt and pain means nothing. We're supposed to be in pain. We're supposed to be hurting. And so this is what is happening all over the world. People, let's talk about slavery in Libya. It doesn't even raise an eyebrow. Why? Because white people have sick sexual fantasies about black people in bondage, black people, stuff like that. The black man having power, having influence or control at institutions, or having something to say about this world need to be silenced unless he's singing what they want to say. Every last single black leader you see right now talks up for the left-wing cause, which is LGBT, right, which is right, all this kind of nonsense. You even have Stacey, what's her name, Stacey Abrams. She just said that. She just said that
hookers need protection.
We need to talk about prostitution being legalized and protected. Okay, that's important. Cory Booker says the state of Israel needs to be protected at all costs.
Right.
So this is what you have. People out there, there's absolutely no body of government that looks out for the interest. What is the interest of black man? Anytime a black man stands up and says, I believe in this, believe in that, he's put down, he's silenced, he's ostracized, and he's othered and everything, even in the so-called black community. Now what's happening is, which is good, is the fact that you have celebrities and now figuring out, damn, I can't be out here cooning and stuff like that. I gotta look like I'm saying. Why do you think every last single celebrity getting in the pot? Why? Because that crowd. Okay, well, I'm hanging out with the Obamas and all stuff like that. This is politics and everything. And one thing that was good about the ADOS movement is the fact that it created a thing where black people, African American slave descendants, are talking about their particular issues. And if you're not talking about our particular issues, we don't want to talk to you. That part of ADOS is good. But what I don't agree with is the fact that when they keep talking about black immigrants and all that, black immigrants are not our problem. They're not our problem. I say right now, I said on Facebook, and people said, how you say? I said, look, another 20 years, if things keep going right, if our culture stays the same the way it is right now, in another 20 years, the black immigrant population will be the elite in Black America. They will have most of the professional jobs. They will be so-called the go-to as far as anything going on in Black America. Why? Because Black America is serious about not being serious. Nobody's talking about power. No one's talking about getting us to the next level. It's all the same old, same old. If somebody says, okay, what can we do to improve Black America? Nobody's talking about enterprise zones. No one's talking about that because there's not an infrastructure in place to help Black America. Let's be honest with ourselves. In Baltimore, do you really think the majorities? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Oh, hold on 1 second, Colin. Hold on.
Okay.
With the gig. Okay, cool. Okay. Appreciate it, boss. All right, go ahead, Colin.
Now you have Elijah Cummings, right? Now this guy
Yeah.
says absolutely nothing about the. He's from Baltimore area, right?
What does he do? Like,
Oh,
what does he do?
he requests. He's the most requested tax records in this person in the world. Elijah Cummings wants to see Donald Trump's tax records. You know,
Him and Maxine Water. That's all they talk
let's
about.
say he did something and I attacked it. And this is what passes as black politics in America. You know what I'm saying? Just all this going after Donald Trump and everything as a smokescreen for the fact that they can't justify their position or their jobs. They can't just. And the whole thing is, Black America is so weak and so paralyzed. You can't get these people out of office. When have you ever seen a change of the guard in anything? It's like that job is. There's old saying, the job doesn't belong to you; it belongs to your employer. Well, that doesn't work when it comes down to black districts, majority black districts in America. The job belongs to the person, the representative or whoever there, and you can't do anything about them. They're going to be there for life, you know. And so the whole thing is, the whole idea of House of Representatives, you can flip your representative every 2 years if he even sneezes the wrong way. But black
Get him out.
get him out. Get him. That's what the whole House of Representatives was made for. The House chambers switch every 2 years. You know, that's the only part of the thing that really belonged to the people. It was the House of Representatives. Okay, and when America first started, the Senate was even appointed by state legislatures. The only thing you had really with the federal government was the House of Representatives and the presidency. That was it. So therefore, black people not switching their representative every 2 years means that there's not really a real. People talk about democracy. That's not democracy. You know, that's a kleptocracy and not oligarchy. You know, and a plutocracy in black politics. There's a plutocracy in black politics with the same old people who all. And this is the most dangerous thing. The most important thing I'm gonna say. The dangerous thing is so-called black comfort. You know, black people who are comfortable.
Colin, we've been way too comfortable.
We're comfortable.
And I think that's what the ADOS movement is doing. Is getting people out of their comfort.
He's getting out of comfort. I agree with that. That part of the ADOS, I agree with. Getting people out of their comfort zone. I agree with that because I don't attack ADOS because of that. That I agree with them on. You know, and what gets me is I say that all the time, and people will be in the chat room. Oh, he's anti-ADOS. No. This is zero. It's not a zero-sum game. I agree with that part of ADOS and everything as far as like people representing our specific interests as an ethnic group in America. It's been 4 years. I agree with that. But when you start talking about we don't need Africa and black immigrants and this and all this kind of nonsense, that's the part of ADOS I don't agree. And ADOS, if you want to be nationalist and stuff like that, yeah, you can be an ADOS and be a nationalist and everything. I agree with that. But the whole thing is, what's guiding what the media is focusing on is that ADOS part that says that I'm not anything but an American slave, you know, and that's all I care about. And that's the part we disagree on. I disagree on. And that part right there is dangerous. And the whole thing is the two people leading that, right, are, the two people we always talk about. Okay. And so therefore, now as far as like everything else that they talk about, if they have legitimate concerns about the political process, I agree with that. Why? If let me say this: if a black person in America feels like their allegiance with the United States and they're American, they don't want to be. I agree with that too. But at the same time, don't ostracize people who basically either see us black people as one, or people who want Pan-African and African nationalist ties. If we think that's important, if you want to be American, fine. Those of us who want to be Pan-Africanists, hey, we should have the option too. It's always a zero-sum game with black people. It's always like my ideology is only as valid as I can make somebody else agree with what I'm talking about. That's the problem. If you don't agree with what they're talking about, do I got echo?
Okay. No, you're fine.
If I don't agree with what someone talking about, They're wrong. They're demons. They're devils. They're traitors and all kind of nonsense.
Agents. That's my favorite.
Oh,
Agents.
they're agents. I didn't know.
Oh! You don't believe that the Illuminati killed Nipsey Hussle? You
You
an
must be an
agent.
agent. Lord have mercy. Like I said.
Here's a new one. Oh, you support Kagame? Oh, you an agent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. Anytime a black country is successful, there has to be some reason. There has to be the CIA. It has to be the American government. They don't give any credit to that right there is practicing white supremacy, because you automatically assume that a black country can't get their shit together. You're on its own. So you automatically assume there has to be white hands involved, or Chinese hands involved. Black people are just too stupid to come together and build a nation. It's actually easier to build a modern nation than it is to build a. It's actually easier to build a successful nation than it is to build a failed nation, right?
Right.
Because if you build a successful nation, if everyone's on point and you put all the checks and balances there and everything like that, a nation will work smooth. Rwanda is a perfect example. Singapore is a perfect example. But if you don't care about these things, if you basically, I think you're going to have a country like Liberia, countries falling apart. You got ex-generals and rebels are now banding together in Liberia, calling for the senators to report to them, the congressmen to report to them. Ex-rebels that were in the bush are now stepping up and emboldened that they can do whatever they want, because they got people in the bush training now in Liberia to destabilize the country. But this is what the so-called indigenous people wanted. They want their country giant. They wanted the indigenous man to rule and everything, and they got their indigenous culture. And so, what can you do? What can you say?
Right.
So the bottom line is this: what we have is like I said, and I said this on Facebook. I said, look, um, I said this whole idea of women empowerment, right? We need to empower girls all over the world. And I agree with women need to have a leg up and everything like that. But part of a nation is you're not, and women are not going to do childbearing. Her primary role is not childbearing or child rearing and everything like that. What are you going to have? People are not going to have to stop having sex. Women are not going to stop having babies. If women's primary job is not to build a family with a man and everything, what you have is a whole continent, a whole race that is dysfunctional, depending on the state, depending on NGOs. That's what these NGOs want to do with their women empowerment zones, stuff like that. They want these women not depending on their men, building their country together and building their country, building families. They want their people, women, dependent on some foreign entity instead of building a nation from within. A nation is only as strong as its family structure, and its family structure and those basic things. If you don't have that, you're not building a nation. You're just building organized fuckery. And so the whole thing is, why do they do this? Why? Because what you have is the world, the people that rule the world do not like sort of right wing, masculine, testosterone filled nations with men. Why? Because those nations tend to be more nationalistic, more caring about its borders, not caring about the so-called global community, and more likely to protect their society, protect their women, protect their borders, protect all those things, right? So you can't just come to that country and dump your goods on their shores, right? There's a consensus among the people that you have to buy local goods first. You have to buy national brands first. They don't want that in Africa. They want to be able to dump their goods, control the country, come in at will, take all the. There was recently a UN bus, a UN right, a UN bus. Did you see that?
UN bus. What do you mean?
It overturned. It was in the Congo. It was full with minerals. A UN peacekeeping bus was full to the brim with.
Are they trying to blame that on Kagame too?
Oh, but probably. You know what I'm saying? Probably.
That was Kagame's bus that came in through Rwanda.
Yeah. Except that it happened on the western front, the western part of Congo,
You know what kills me, Colin, when it comes to Kagame and these people, these Kagame naysayers.
Yeah.
Like whenever you say, okay, so where's the Congolese leadership at?
Right.
It's a bunch of dancing and excuses, and it's like you're deflecting to Kagame for Congolese leadership coonery.
And this guy Kabila, who was in power for like 25 years, and he's a billionaire, right? All his Western Israeli partners that loot in the Congo out of diamonds and minerals and everything. Oh, that's not a problem. That's not a problem.
It's Kagame.
Kagame is not a rich man. If you see
Right.
him walk in his country in jeans and a t-shirt on, stuff like that. But no, that doesn't really matter. Let's not focus on that. Let's not focus on Kabila, who's given a green license to everybody and his uncle to go rape and exploit the Congo. Let's not talk about that. It's Kagame's fault. It's Kagame's fault. And the same thing's going to happen to the BAO once we start really making moves, have success. The same, so I say right now, they ain't going to let us sit there and just build this BA Black African infrastructure without slander, lies, and deceit and half truths and all this kind of stuff like that. They're going to do everything in their power to make it seem like, oh, College Genesis is going to Africa to rob, rape, steal, and loot and all this kind of nonsense. Dynasty Samir, I know he did, this, that, the other thing, but blah, blah. They're waiting to do it. They're waiting in the wing. And that's not coming from white people right now. You don't need the white man more. With Negroes and coons like around like this, well, who needs the white man, And they'll say the white man, fuck the white man. I got enough problems with Negroes, you know what I'm saying? Negroes in Africa and Negroes here with their freaking nonsense and their freaking tomfoolery. So the bottom line is you got these Negroes out here, they don't have any plans for themselves. And I'll say, well, how can you help the situation? I don't know. All I know is, okay, if somebody's out there doing business, they're helping out like that, what do you like his brother on this clown on my timeline going at O'Shea. I said, O'Shea puts his money where his heart is. This guy, you know how much money this guy spends for the Negro Manosphere and stuff like that? He puts his money, helps people out, and stuff like that. And you got nerve to sit here and talk about some other blogger that has 1,000 subscribers said about him. I said, man, get off my freaking timeline, And so the whole thing is this: if you're doing good, you got stuff going on like yourself, O'Shea, you're gonna have haters,
Right.
And these same haters will convince you that they hate the white man. No, you hate anybody that's doing well. You know what I'm saying? If it's the white man or if it's the damn black man, whatever like that, you hate just to hate. You really hate black people. That's what it is. You hate black people. You're a misery merchant. And the whole thing is you don't want to see black people, particularly black males, elevated and everything, because you want everybody to join you in your misery. And you're a bastion of misery. And that's what it is. It's to the point where black men are so weak we can't even defend ourselves anymore without being called sexist and homophobe, racist, and everything like that. We can't even defend ourselves.
Yeah. Your boy Terry Crews. Black children need fathers in their life.
Oh my God, man. Oh my God. He's running scared. I apologize for what I said and blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. But Gabrielle Union, right? She sexualized 11-year-old stepson, saying he's coming out in pride and everything. And you look at the thing, oh, you go, girl. You go, girl. 11-year-old boy shouldn't even be talking about sex, but he's already sexualized, in homosexuality at 11 years old. But that's okay. No one says anything about that. Terry Crews says child needs a father or not. Oh my God, that's a patriarchy. That's oppressive. And this is not going on just here. It's going on all over the world. All over the world. I was watching this one thing with this Indian lady who was saying, we have to destroy it. Now, India does have a problem with patriarchy, extreme patriarchy. I agree with that, Women, they have a legitimate...
They won't focus on that. They'll focus on the toxic masculinity in the black community.
Now, India's patriarchy ain't going anyplace. Neither is Saudi Arabia. That's not going anyplace. But so what they do is they see the black man in America as weak, right? So we're the test tube or the example they want to set towards the world. How to take a man completely out of his school, make his own community turn against him, make our children hate us, make our elders hate us, make our women hate us, and all stuff like that. That we're just nothing, we're no good, we're capable of anything. And so it's hard to tell people that you're serious about building a movement because the whole idea is we have a track record of failure. And also, when the black people are succeeding in America, it's ignored.
Right.
It's ignored. So there's a lot of black male success in America. There's an article that came out that said not too long ago that said, get this. I want to slow it down because I want everybody to listen to this, right? An article came out, you look it up, says, according to the 2017 tax returns, right? That's the federal government institute. 10% of black males are in the top tier income level bracket. 10%. That's almost like 2 million black men making over $300,000 a year. All right away, all they said that's the biggest bump out of any group. The black men. They said, where are these guys getting the money? A lot of guys
Hey,
that
no, don't tell Yvette Carnell that though. No, tell you.
oh, I'm telling you, Becca. She was the one. No, this got to be wrong. And all these black women. Oh no, that's not right. It can't be right. This thing, they can't right. And I see it right here where I live at. There's so many brothers that have businesses, not just handyman business.
Well,
You got brothers
I see here in Atlanta.
yeah,
So
but no one ever takes a mic or pen and paper and say interview these brothers. How do you do it? Let me interview that. Why? Because black men who are successful are not to be shown and successful without having to make a rap record.
right,
Successful without not having to slam a basketball. Or
right.
sports endorsement, stuff like that, or do traditional black stuff like clothing line. And nothing wrong with brothers who do that, but there's a lot of brothers who do a lot of stuff in this country that make a lot of money. Engineers, web designers, everything. There's brothers that are doing it. The richest black person in America is Richard Smith, a black man. But the bottom line is the reason why you don't see him on the media, they always show Oprah, is because they don't want to see the image of black male power. That's why they had to get rid of Bill Cosby. That's why they ostracized Bob Johnson and everything like that. Anytime a black man is powerful and everything, every move is watched. And that's why you have these black people, you got millions of dollars and everything like that. They make sure that they have no real connection with the community. Look at Dr. Dre. He gave $70 million to a university, right? University of Southern California, I think it was.
USC, yeah.
Yes, at $70 million, right? Now, Morehouse is so broke. Like you told me about the track and field. They have
Well,
to
but this thing. So I was going back and forth with some people over that video, and so they have like 180. How does it? Okay, let me ask you this, Colin. How does an endowment work for a university? Do you know?
Okay, what an endowment is like. Let's see, I give you a background. Okay. What an endowment is this, right? It's like an insurance policy. It's an insurance policy. An endowment is what you buy, right? And you put money into it. It's like it holds assets and stuff like. It's like a portfolio, right? You put stuff in, right, and then the interest on the endowment and stuff like that is used to pay the faculty and professor, tenure professors, stuff like that. It's like I would say a portfolio. It's an endowment. Your tuition, grants, contributions go to the endowment, right? Some colleges, the average black colleges have like about $200 million in endowment, right? That's money.
Morehouse is 180 million.
That's one. But do you know how much the endowment of white Ivy League students are? They're in the
billions. Like
billions of dollars. And so therefore, the black people don't have donors and contributors on any large scale. Most of the people who contribute to black colleges are like the Ford Foundation, and if they're contributing to your endowment and what the school gets from the state, and you take in tuition and stuff like that, right? There's not much. There's very little resources black institutions have. Why? Because nobody values them. Now, Fortune 5 countries invest in other schools' endowments in their medical programs, their business programs. Why? Because those people graduating are going to come and work for those Fortune 500 companies. Many black, this is how we came about. When black people started opening up black business schools and everything like that, it was doing their affirmative action, minority set aside, and stuff like that. And then if you went to one of these colleges, right, you could probably get to somebody's affirmative action program in a company, and that was few and far between. I remember it was Roy, what's his name, Whitney Irving Young, right? He was basically probably one of the best African American leaders of the 1960s. He died in 1971 in Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, you want to know how he died in Lagos, Nigeria, right?
How?
He was so fed up with the Nixon administration promised, so okay, we're gonna do this. Nixon said he wanted to give more money to black colleges and everything like that to take the pressure off of this integration, like that. We're gonna build up black colleges or everything. Anyway, there's a lot of people in America with Democrats and liberals and even some white racists like, no, don't give black people nothing, everything. And then they started a program. We're going to give black people jobs and everything like that. That was moving so slow. So after Whitney Irving Young, after Malcolm X died, Martin Luther King died, right? This is this is 1970. He started saying, hey, black people going to Las Vegas. The world's changed. It's not the black white thing anymore. He started traveling the world and stuff like that. He saw these countries developing around the world. And one of the countries he went to was Nigeria, right? And the Nigerian leader spoke to him and said, look, if you could basically send some of these people over here, we could build, Malcolm X's program of pulling our intellectual and skill base together. He wanted to do that with Nigeria, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, he has a heart attack and dies in a pool. And get this, if there's something didn't fly right with the situation, why did President Nixon, right? First one, President Nixon told him to come back to the United States. He wasn't employed in the United States. So why was President Nixon telling him for like a week, come back to the United States? You being in Nigeria is embarrassing us, embarrassing us. We'll work on things right here. He ends up dying in a pool, right? President Nixon sends Air Force One and flew his body back to the United States. When does that ever happen? So you're telling me there's no foul play involved? And like everything else, nobody questioned it. Okay, black people go back to, yeah, well, I guess the United States really love us and whatnot, because they sabotaged this. Whitney, because he basically had given up on America. He was a staunch integrationist, right? But when he saw the potential, he was a businessman. He saw the potential in Nigeria, right? Government contracts and all stuff like that. He said, "This is where I need to be," And like a couple of days later, he's dead. And so, like I said, black male power, black independent male power, black power that's going to do something outside the box, right? Like you have this. Then a couple of years later, they had this Memorandum 46. You ever heard of Memorandum 46?
Is that the keep Africans and African Americans disconnected?
Right. Yeah, parts of ADOS is part of the Memorandum 46, I believe. Keep Africans and African Americans from linking up, right? Now, they don't mind you going over your emotional tours and everything, crying over Slave Castle. But when you start talking about doing business and linking institutions up and everything, it happened in Liberia a couple of years ago. Morehouse University and Howard was in Liberia, and they were building the engineering architectural school up in Tubman University and Harper in Maryland County, Liberia. And guess what happened? The Ebola thing breaks out, right? And everybody came back and it was shut down. The Ebola scare. And I don't think they went back there since. That was back in 2012. Okay? 2012, 2013. And so therefore, like I said, anytime you get ready to make a power move, there's going to be people that say, no, I think you're going too far. Keep it in the borders of the United States. You are an American. You're only American when it benefits them. Now, when you come to America and say, I'm walking down in a supermarket, and we all do this. Why is this guy following me down every aisle? Why? I got money in my pocket. I got a credit card, everything like that.
Real quick, college. Somebody in the chat room says, we see the conspiracy theory here, but not the conspiracy theory in Nipsey Hussle. You want to address that?
See, this is what I'm talking about. That black people are good at this. This is what black people are good at. Now, when this is a real conspiracy theory, I just laid out. I know the fact that they took over conscious rap and weeded it out of hip hop and everything, demonetized it, ostracized it, and got rid of it. Replaced it with gangster rap, monetized it, spread it throughout as a representation of black culture in America, black urban culture in America, right? Oh, there's no conspiracy to that. Collar, you're lying. Just that, thing. No, they can't see that, right? But Nipsey Hussle being killed by the CIA because he was really Black Jesus and that he was gonna do something and everything. That's a conspiracy. When it's off the wall and crazy, you'll believe it. But when you tell them about a real conspiracy, right? Why do they monetize this the most degrading music known to man? The only people on the planet that sing.
Only people on the planet.
Only people on the planet that sing about and glorify their own death and destruction are the black people in America. Only group of people.
But Kyla, we just telling our truth, man. We just telling
you telling the story that the white people are here. Because I've seen kids, black kids that I know from living here that grew up in the suburbs and everything, right alongside the white kids and everything, but yet they're singing like they're gangsters and everything, and you grew up in the damn suburbs. But yet that's the truth. The truth is what you wanted to be. Now, if you basically minding your business, doing your thing, I know people that live in the worst neighborhoods and they don't get in trouble at all.
Yeah.
But you choose to be part of that stuff like that, right? Why? And I'll tell you this right now. Look, I'll tell you a story. I told half the story last week when I told you about. Remember I told you about DJ LES, Nas DJ. I told him that he was talking this shit. When the shootout in the parking lot, I almost got shot, and I confronted him about that shit. Right. Well, I didn't tell the whole story. There was this rapper. He was like, I think he's Lebanese, whatever. His name was Johnny Cash, right? And
A rapper named Johnny Cash.
Yeah, he was good too. He was on BET. He was good too.
Okay.
He was good. You can look him up on YouTube. He was good too. He's a Cash with a K. Anyway, this I was walking out the door, right? And after they was these rappers had a battle of talking shit to each other in the parking lot, and this white and this dude said to Johnny Cash, "Yo, Eminem," he called him Eminem, right? Yo, will you sing at my girlfriend's, my daughter's birthday party, whatever? And I'm saying, there's one boy said, "Who the fuck you calling Eminem, motherfucker?" Like, blah, blah. And next thing you know, I swear to God, if I was 2 feet, I would have got shot. I would have got shot up, right? Guns came out, boom, 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 boom. But anyway, get this. One of Cash's boys, right? One of Cash's boys, right? Got grazed by a bullet. Got grazed, not even a scratch on him, right? One girl that I knew, this girl in Canada, she was fine. She got hit in the leg, and she was walking along. I said, I want to kill these motherfuckers. What they did to you? Beautiful girl, you know what I'm saying? She got hit in the leg, right? She got hit. Then Cash comes out with a song. He got like great. He went through. He wasn't hit, right? But somehow he came back from the hospital acting like. I said, where did that come from? You didn't have that mark on your arm when you left with that. Motherfucker probably, I think he ripped his shirt and act like, yeah, I was hit too. A week later, he got a week later, yo, these clowns got I took a bullet for you, Cash. I took a bullet for you, man. Y'all Negroes didn't get shot. Y'all got shot at. You know what I'm saying? I took a bullet. See, I got my bullets, man. My skull, yo, man, my bullet. I took a bullet for you. We're like that, man. With blood and blood out. With blood, we bleed. I'm like, y'all Negroes got scratched. You know what I'm saying? And you were out there talking, rapping. And I said to myself, that's what I knew back then. I said, these motherfuckers are full of shit. You know? I saw the whole thing, man. And all of a sudden, the next day, right? Actually, it was the next day, it was Sunday, right? I don't know what happened, but I went there to look at the ground. There was a lot of bullet shells on the ground at night, right? So we just left. We didn't clean the parking lot, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I went there the next day, like 4:00 in the afternoon. It was on Sunday, I remember. A nice day and all that. I went there, and all the bullets were gone. I think these Negroes came back there and collected all the bullets, and be like, "Yo, see this bullet hit me." You know what I'm saying? All the bullet casings were gone. Off the ground, not one. And so I'm like, man, I said, that's why I said these motherfuckers. And then all that, you guys making rap, yeah, man. You got. I got my stripes, man. I took a bullet, man. I took a bullet. You didn't take no damn bullet. No bullet. You fell on the ground, and you fell on the ground. I'm trying to run into the car. They were trying to duck under the car, and they scratched themselves up. But yeah, right. So man, like I said, I got a PhD and a doctorate in Negroology. I got a PhD in this. I know the Negro. Tomorrow, Negro, get the application for Burger King and be done with it. Get yourself to the trade school. The bottom line, it's like if I wasn't somebody that was out there, you know what I'm saying? I was some guy wet behind the ear, whatever like that, but I was out there in the streets. I know 9 times out of 10 these reputations are nothing. Most people are wannabes. But I'll tell you this, right? The most dangerous person on the street is the wannabe.
Yeah, because they want to prove something. Yeah,
they got something to prove. I've seen that before. The wannabe, real thugs is like, yo, all right, man, like let's squash him. Let's get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, man, The wannabes, you know what I'm saying? He disrespected me. I gotta do something with that.
I've seen. Let's put that work in. Yeah. Let's get him.
I used to, when I worked in the club, I seen some of the most dangerous dudes, known murderers, drug dealers come in, and they're well mannered, they mind their business or whatever like that. They're having a good time with that, but making sure these guys will put you under, But the bottom line, they don't act like that, because they got too much to lose. The wannabe have too much to prove. And what you have with these rappers is all a bunch of wannabes, all of them. If you're trying to make a rap record, you ain't no real gangster. If you make a rap record and sing about your shit, you ain't no any real gangster. You're somebody. So that's why I said there's no incentive for people to change their ways. Why? Because they know white suburbia will buy this crap.
Right.
They market this to white suburbia, and they'll buy it. People like us from the streets and everything, we don't buy this nonsense. It's like you got a bunch of clowns. You know, ain't nobody really living that. You ain't really living that life. You ain't about that. All you need is a job. You know, and something to do. You know, like I said, the American Negro is something else. The only group of people that sing about that and glorify their own death and destruction for the amusement of another race, and nobody could debate me on that. You know, there's no other group of people. If you think this stuff is harmless and stuff like I said, if black people are determined to be like this, what can we do? If we're determined to be the butt of every joke, you know what I'm saying?
So, Carlos, so somebody in the chat room says, are not Pookie and Ray Ray's ADOS? Where do Pookies and Ray Rays fall in the ADOS equation?
Well, like I said, I don't see. Like I said, ADOS is just a hashtag, a term, right? It's saying the slave, the descendant, what the American descendants of slavery, right?
Right.
If you well, it has another thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about too. Let's talk about this. Let's talk frank. The majority of people who the Pookies Ray Ray don't see race and color. They don't identify with that. The newest thing now with these gangs, these thugs and everything is porno and going into white suburbia and getting white girls. Almost, I'm gonna tell you, right, you think you're gonna reach Pookie and Ray Ray or whatnot. As soon as Becky comes along with that blonde hair and that big ass and whatnot, all your whatever you're saying is out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, they got white homeboys full blood. I see white girls with grills in their mouth. You know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I see
Grills
that
in their
too.
mouth, all stuff like that. So you got a whole
Kyle, there used to be a white dude on my football team that used to wear a wave cap.
yeah, waves. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, if you say we're going to do all this black power, and if Pookie's a Ray say, yo man, I got such and such, he's cool, man, he's white, but he's cool. You know, yo man, me and my boy, man, I'm hooked up with his sister or whatever like that. So what can you replace that with? You know, telling people, oh yeah, black this and black that. They ain't listening to that because not only do they see the mainstream rejecting this black conscious stuff, right, but it's cool to be like right now. The cooler you are is the closer you are to white people. You know, you even got your boy Polite. He got caught up with the Kardashians and stuff. You know, if somebody's supposed to be conscious of black power, he's saying, man, he's out with white girls or driving Lamborghinis and chilling with white people. You know what I'm saying? Because white people are the in crowd. So don't tell me about this is black or this is your reality. Your reality is 9 times out of 10, most people in the hood want to hang with and want to be cool with white people. That's keeping it real. I would love for somebody to debate me on this shit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit on holy toast with a side of fries. You know, people talk about, oh yeah, they gotta keep it real. Keep it real what? Acting like a coon, a fool. You know, it's like that dude that kissed that white girl. Now, let me say something, right? Let me say something. All right. The sister on my timeline said, that's good for him because that's race missing. That's sad that you guys say something like that. You know, and he shouldn't be trying to cook somebody. I said, that's not beside the point. The brother, he gave up himself and he basically kissed away. Okay, all right, that part we can look at, but I don't look at it like that. I think that 12 years was excessive. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, for kissing a white guy. And we got priests out there raping little boys and don't get no time. You know, so the whole thing is this. Now, that's what's going on, right? That's what's going on. You got bros out there and everything. They're into this interracial porn. Let's not talk about that. In every video, what do you see? You see either white chicks or light skinned red bone chicks and all stuff like that. That ain't going nowhere. You got a rapper at Nipsey Hussle's funeral talking about we gotta take care of these light skinned babies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Color worship. So we should just not ignore the color worship and all the stuff like that, which is not going any place. It ain't going away. Colorism is not going no place in Black America and everything. Why? Because we're people that is hell bent on our own degradation, our own destruction. And we don't basically get that right. There's nothing we're gonna do. There's nothing we're gonna build. You know, all this nonsense and everything. And the root of it is, if you ask a black man, any black man, deep down his heart, what exactly do you want? Most black men want to be free. They want to be free from racism. They don't want to be in control of white people. They want they're open to the idea of Africa and building in Africa and stuff like that. Not all of them are nationals and everything, but they want something, some peace of mind, saying that there's some place on this earth that's theirs. That's if you really get down to talk to every last single serious black man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we talk about Africa so much and everything. African Americans are deeply involved with African geopolitics. You know, they know African leaders know that we're watching them. You know, we're communicating with Africans on the continent. They're listening to shows like this. They're listening to Search for O'Shea and all these other people and stuff like that. So the dialogue and the verbiage is changing, and they're bringing our talking points to the continent. Right? Why is this happening? Why are we doing this? And that's like a stressor. It's causing social change on the continent. They don't want that. You know, the world doesn't want that. They want the whole thing is this. The white man had it so good, right? And people ask me all the time, right? How did the white man think he can get away with what he did in Liberia? Why? Because let's say 1980. What were we doing in 1980? I think you were born. You were born in 1980.
I was born in 82.
82. Okay. You were born in 1982. Okay, I remember. Let's see. I was like 11 or 12 years old. Okay, let me see. Okay, 1980. Okay, the movie Airplane came out. You know,
Airplane.
the movie what else? Superman 2 came out. You know, everything. Okay. While all this was going on, the plot of the coup of 1980, nobody was focusing on Liberia. Everybody was into America. You know, in '81, the Ronald Reagan era, everybody in America. Hulk Hogan, I am American. We are America. All stuff like that. You know, you had Rocky, you had all stuff like that. You had Beverly Hills Cop.
E.T. came out in 82, I think.
82. You had the 18. You had all stuff like that. So Black America was not focused on what was going on the continent, you know, stuff like that. So they could do all that stuff. White people were. Do you know in the 1980s there was a large community of white Americans who lived in Port Harcourt? Have you ever heard of Port Harcourt, Nigeria?
No, I have not.
Port Harcourt is in I believe it's in Ogun State. That's a oil producing city. So they said they have most of Nigeria's millionaires. Okay, and they're building a new city. It looks beautiful. You know what I'm saying? New city. And most of these cities in Nigeria were not like their own countries. You know. Well, anyway, there was a lot of white. I'll research this, right? And I said I saw a lot of white Americans. I'll say this is the 70s, right? And I used to see these white Americans with long hair, hippie hair, long sideburns and everything. I said they're in Africa, and they see like kids and everything like that living in Africa as executives and everything, like with the oil companies and everything, and talking to Nigerians and stuff like that. I said to myself, there's nothing that good that can come out of so many white Americans living in Africa. And I'll say so. Therefore, they were benefiting from the blessings of Africa, which we should have been doing, you know. And Malcolm X always said every time he went to Africa and he saw white America, he said their faces would turn beet red, and they would try to avoid him at all costs. Why? Yeah. Because they want to play this game.
Hey, Colin, even to the point where they'll ask you like, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I got that when I went to South Africa back in 2012. Yeah. They were just shocked that Black America was in Africa.
What are you doing here? Well, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be on the streets dodging bullets, something like that? Yeah. Shouldn't you be locked up? Shouldn't you be saying fight the power and all kind of nonsense and everything? They don't want to see black men in America. Even not only do they want to see you there, they don't even want you to talk to them. You know how many fights I've had with like white people who live in Liberia and egging these indigenous people on, yeah, the American Liberians were your slavers. We should have colonized, yeah, and getting Liberians to agree that America should have colonized outright and the Black Americans from America ruined our country and all this kind of nonsense and everything. And so they're going on all over the continent, spoiling our name with Africans, telling us we're no good, telling us that's where the negativity from us come from. The number of white Americans who are in Africa, the white Americans who live in Japan. What do they do? What do they tell the Japanese? You know, Japanese have a negative image of us and everything, right? A lot of them don't, but many of them do. Have a negative. What do? They get it from the media. They get it from white Americans over there, you know, who get it, yeah, you know, and then white Americans have to go around the world. On one hand, they tell us we're all Americans, right? But every time they get a chance, they stab us in the back. They go everywhere in the world telling us that their problem is the blacks in America. Where you got people over there like, man, I hate black people. They never saw a black person in their life, but they hate us because what the white Americans has told them or shown them us. And then we help them out by give them the worst image of us with these gangs and stuff like that.
All right.
So I'd like to know who wants to debate me on that topic. The global image of the African American. We're great people. You know, we have people doing great things.
Hold on one second, Colin. Hold on 1 second. Guys, we have 195 people watching, only 88 likes. Please hit that like button.
They don't want me to sing. They don't want me to sing.
Not right now, but if these likes don't go up, we're going to have you sing.
Giants don't want me to sing.
We're gonna have you sing if these likes don't go up. But go ahead, Colin.
Y'all better get those lights up, or I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna torture you. You know. So therefore, like I said, I did give, and I have to admit, Bill Cosby was wrong what he did and stuff like that. You know, he has to take account, but he is taking account. He's in jail. Do you think we could accept Bill Cosby back after he did his time? He paid his debt to society. If they said he was guilty, right? Okay, we accept the fact. Let's say he's guilty. He did his time. He did his sentence. Shouldn't we be forgiving and let him back in, and so he could do more work with his remaining years? You know, because look at this. Bill Cosby. If it was not for Bill Cosby, people wouldn't have known there were such thing as a black HBCU. You know, black people didn't know. You know, when the show A Different World came out, or HBCU enrollment went through the roof.
I can tell you this, Colin. HBCUs are completely foreign to the West Coast.
Yeah, that's like I said. Most HBCUs right here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
You know,
so I mean, I didn't know about them until I happened to stumble upon them. But a lot of people don't know about HBCUs on the. They do now. Right. But when I was growing up, a lot of people didn't know about them.
All right. Somebody named Alfred Buddy said, even the Prince of Saudi Arabia talked negatively about African Americans, about kneeling and patriotism. Thanks to Trump and Saudi. Correct. I don't know what that means, but yeah, right. Everybody around the world. This the bottom line is the African American image, Black American image is the gangs, the crime, the baby mamas, all the stuff that people love uploading. Normal Black life is never uploaded on the internet. You know, I can show if I was to take my camera around and just show you normal Black people out minding their business, going shopping, going to the movie theaters, working business, everything. You know, it probably get no views.
You know, it's crazy. That was the main objective of Ebony Magazine when it first came out.
What's that?
Show normal Black life.
Normal Black life, you know.
Because back when John Johnson said in his book, he said that the only way Black people got on TV or in the news was if they robbed somebody, committed a crime, or was something having to do with athletics.
Yeah, or the minstrel.
Yeah, a minstrel. Yeah.
The minstrel stuff, you know, all now. So therefore, he created an institution that we felt good about ourselves and everything, that people cared about us, people looked at us, that there was a plan for us, you know, and we were together as a people. That's what I got from Ebony Magazine. I said, I get Ebony Magazine, we're a people. Take away Ebony Magazine and whatnot, and I'll say about the Pookies and them. There's, you know, and you know, I can tell when someone doesn't know about being Black and stuff like that, because not taught in their family. You go in their house, there's no Black books. There's no Black history books. There's nothing. No consciousness, everything like that. The only thing you would see in my house is the Source magazine when that was out. So Vibe magazine, that was it. You know, but you don't see Ebony. You don't see Black encyclopedias or any encyclopedias or any Black books and everything like that. When you go in a person's house, you can tell them by the books you see laying around. Okay, when you go to a lot of people's house and everything, a lot of these people's house and everything, and usually when it's like a lot of these young guys be like, "Hey, how you doing, sir?" and sir, and all this stuff like that, you know, they don't see you as a fellow Black man. You're just somebody else and everything like that. They have been taught that you are the same race, or you're the same culture and everything. We're people and everything. You know, they don't call each other. We don't call each other brother. You know, okay, hey, how you doing, older brother, man? How you doing? What are you doing? Everything like that. You know, it's just sad. It's sad how people, you know, just don't people don't get it. Somebody says every Black parent I know from LA encourage their kids to take HBCUs. They want us to get out of Cali and go to school. Yeah, Cali has nothing to offer. I was just watching this show tonight on the LA gang wars, you know, and to come to find out the mother buried 2 sons, right? And then at the end of the show said, well, she was one of the founding members of the Crips, mother. So you got great grandparents in the Crips. Whole neighborhood. And you can't say Okay, well, you gotta have better neighborhoods because you look at Compton and everything like that. Those are nice houses and everything, but the gang culture destroyed what could have been a vibrant community. You know, people grow up in that stuff. That's their family. You know, your family is your gang and all this kind of nonsense and everything like that. Real families with fathers, mothers, and everything, aunts, uncles, and everything like that don't exist in many of those communities. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, I was talking about. I was watching this documentary on the gang life in California. It was just so sad. So,
What was it called?
I forgot what it's called, but it was called L.A. Gang Wars. You know, L.A. Gang Wars. Anyway, it's been out a while. I've seen it before. You know, I've seen it before. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
the mother buried two sons, right? Killed. They're doing the thing, and then come to find the end of the documentary, she was also a Crip member at one time, and she was basically like, "Yeah, you can't kill it, man. This is our culture. This is our family." That's sad. The mother buried two grown sons and everything in the gang life and everything. Lost two sons. You know, and I'm saying to myself, and one son was killed, right? Because he was gang affiliated. He was a gang member. He was gang affiliated, but for wearing his brother that was murdered shirt. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
He got gunned down.
Wow.
And then she's like, yeah, she was saying that she was in the gang. Her ex, he died, a gang member, or whatever. So you got generation after generation of people living this life. So tell me what you're going to do with that.
Can't build anything. I mean, look at LA now. That's the problem.
Yeah, you got thousands of gang members. So then people in New York, and these grown ass men talk, yeah, we're going to unite and everything. We're going to stop the violence. Well, yesterday, two women got killed in a drive-by shooting in Miami. Whatever happened to that gang truce? I thought they were going to put the weapons down and stop the killing.
No,
You know?
that was in LA. That was in LA.
No, but the gangs nationwide are talking this stuff.
No, I mean there's no Colin. You got to understand. There's a
Yeah.
gang truce. There's a gang truce every year.
But everybody keep throwing that in my face. Colin, man, you see, man, we got a gang truce.
Colin, there's a gang truce every year, bro. I mean, I live in Cal.
Yeah, there's gang truce, so we're gonna come together. And yeah. So the bottom line is, like I said, how do we get to this point, right? It's because we bought into America. We bought into America, and to the point now, which is saddens me, is the fact that Morehouse was a black male institution. We're supposed to. Morehouse should have been given.
But okay, Colin, let me ask you this: can Morehouse still be? Is Morehouse even should Morehouse even be considered a black male institution anymore?
No. Why? Because a couple years ago, remember when the gays invaded Morehouse? Remember that? You had dudes running around in skirts and booty shorts and everything, which somebody should have taken sticks and beat the hell out of them.
Oh, we can't say that. We can't say that. We can't say that.
Okay, we can't say that. We can't. Okay, well,
yeah. We can't say that.
I retract that. I can't track that. But somebody should have straightened them out and said, look, shook them up a little bit. Say, look, this is not for that. But the whole thing is, if they could take over the black church, right? What do you think they're gonna do to a cash-strapped institution like Morehouse? And so the whole vibe. You go to like a lot of these elite boys school academies and stuff like that. They turn out senators, doctors, engineers, everything like that, lifelong companion partners, and nobody mess with them. These white Ivy League institutions, everything. They'll omit blacks here and there and stuff like that. In the 70s and 80s, start omitting blacks and everything. But there's a lot of hazing going on. A lot of people complain about racism and isolation, and so a lot of these white elite institutions and everything, all men institutions and everything. But the whole thing, they're still standing. And a lot of remember that a couple years ago where these white boys were in this fraternity was on a bus and it was like kill all niggers. Remember that?
Yeah.
And somebody recorded it. And the guy was
University of Oklahoma. Yeah.
Oklahoma. Yeah. Okay. But you have these white guys that have this life where they know that they're gonna go to a world of privilege or power and influence and everything like that. Look at all the black faces and even Governor North of Virginia. They live one life and everything, and they go to these things and their madness, their malehood and madness is asserted. That's why they're ready to lead the world. Where black men are broken down, they're gonna take our masculinity away from us. They're gonna say a black man can't put his foot down and say, "This is what I want. This is how it's gonna be." and this is how it is. This is how it is. This is how I want it. This is what's going to be. Black men are not allowed to do that. We're just supposed to just sit back and accept it. Let me tell you something, folks. Part of being a human being and being a free human being is being entitled to your beliefs and your prejudices, right? You're entitled to your beliefs and you're entitled to your prejudices. The bottom line is this: people always say, when I was coming up, right, around white people, right, they'll say, such and such is a good guy. He's racist. He's prejudiced, right? But he's a real good guy if you get to know him, right? You just have to understand that. You have to understand where he's coming from. You got to understand.
They still do it.
They still do it, right?
Yeah.
Black people, black men, oh, you're not allowed to have prejudices. You know what I'm saying? You better turn something as simple as I don't accept transgenders and whatever. I don't agree with that. Oh, you know how many times I got called bigot? Call you're a bigot. Blah 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 blah. I'm entitled to my beliefs. I'm entitled to my opinions. Now I may be right or I may be wrong, but I'm entitled to my beliefs. I'm entitled to what I am. Don't try to shame me and try to tell me what I am, right? Because most white people, right, they still live in majority white communities and everything. They still have their eyebrows raised when they see black people around, even if they know you live in their neighborhood. And the bottom line is, you as a black person got to accept everything. Why? Because we have no power. When you have no power, you're not allowed to say what you believe. Nobody gives a damn what you believe and what you look. Why do you think the shaming tactics work on black people so well? When you give up what you believe, you say you're a Christian and everything like that. Some beliefs that you don't believe. You don't believe in abortion. All right. You say you don't believe in abortion. That's your belief. Doesn't mean you're right, but you're entitled to your belief. And people are going to go out there and vote based on what they believe. And black people aren't entitled to that. You got to vote this way. You got to think this way, and that's it. And that's what you have in America. No one's offering black people power. Black power is also being able to think for yourself, and believe what you believe in, without somebody and people respecting your opinion. If some people don't agree with the LGBT, they don't have to agree with that. It's simple that. Don't make them a bad person. They don't agree with that. Some people do. Some people say, I don't care, whatever like that, whatever. Some people strongly say, I don't think that's right. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think it's they should be getting this, they should be getting that. And when the vote came, like when remember Proposition 187 came up in LA, in California? Mm-hmm. You was in California, remember that?
Yeah.
It banned gays, I don't know, it banned gays, something like gay marriage or whatever like that. But the reason why it passed was because black churches said, we're going to vote for that. We don't agree with this stuff. They went to war against the black church. They got celebrities involved. They got everybody involved. And they said, look, we don't give a damn what you have. That was right when Obama got elected, They said, we vote. They were actually saying, you should be supporting this because we elected a black. I heard Rachel Maddow say that. We elected a black president, so why do we got black people trying to oppress gays? Oppress gays? People said they simply agree gay marriage, which should be illegal. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't recognize gay marriage. That was just a belief. Now, over the years, after their bullying and their the Hollywood got involved. You see what gay characters on black television. Why do you think they give you shows like Empire and stuff like that? Right? It's propaganda. Their propaganda worked. Now, if you did that same poll now, a lot of black people change their minds. Okay, well, I don't like it, but okay, if you whatever. That's powerful. They spent a lot of money on institutions, and they got the actors involved. They got people involved to basically to browbeat you into submission. But I believe that people are entitled to their own beliefs. You know what I'm saying? And you're entitled to your prejudices. That's part of being a free people, a civilized free people. Now, if people don't want to do that, it's up to the people to change people's hearts and minds. But doesn't mean it's going to be a guarantee. But isn't that what they always told us? The solution for black people is changing white people's hearts and minds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what Harry Belafonte said. That's what Sidney Poitier said. That's what Martin Luther King said. Our whole salvation is changing white people's opinion and image of us. So when white people are now are going back to a negative opinion of black people, that means they can set back the clock in time, and it's happening right now with the police shootings in America. The benign neglect that's going on in many black urban areas. Why? Because white people's opinion of black people is they're supposed to be ghetto. They say it all the time. They're supposed to be suffering. They're supposed to be that. I wouldn't recognize America if there wasn't black people. I have to know that my life as a white person has more value than a black person's. So this idea of engaging the system and trying to change white people, if you think you're going to basically if you're gonna change white people and it's somehow gonna see the light, see the light. You know what I'm saying? The sky open and the part, and I said, boom, and a big light shine and whatnot. I see the light. Black folks, we were wrong. You know what I'm saying? We were wrong what we did to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Here's everybody $100,000 reparations check. You know, hey, here's my daughter right here. Hey, you want to do a ghetto gagger on her? Hey, go right ahead. Make your point. Here's a point. Hey, go ahead and make a ghetto gagger. You know what I'm saying? Negroes. That is not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? The white man's not going to let you fuck his daughter. He's not going to give you a reparations check. It's not going to happen. You know, he's never going to accept you in his world fully as a human being. So the bottom line is this. I don't believe somebody said white people dying fast. Yo, keep believing that. White people dying faster than birth. Yeah, right. Okay, you keep believing that. Black people have the lowest birth rate right now in America. Do you know that? So the only people having children are the Mexicans and the Central Americans. Black America has the highest abortion rate, a low fertility rate in black women and everything. Black men, only 51% of black men have no children and not married. So this idea, oh yeah, well, I'll pace them. Black people's birth rate is at a negative in the last 30 years. That's negative. That means we haven't, the amount of people dying, the amount of people adding on has not really increased. The only thing that increased was the number of black immigrants coming here. Our birth rate is very low. So you can't play the population game with them. And then white people are still marrying at young ages and they're having kids. So think you're going to one day rise up and overpopulate them. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. I'm sticking all these Negro stalling tactics. You know? Those Negro stalling tactics. Oh, we just got to wait till 2043.
Yeah, 2043, and pork chop sandwiches are go on sale.
Yeah, we're going to have pork chops and ribs because white people will be the minority. Okay, you keep the game. First of all, half of all Latinos identify as being white. And Asians are yellow-skinned white people. And then the bottom line is this, you got white people coming from Europe and stuff like that. Most people identify as being white. So the bottom line is white people don't see Mexicans as a genetic threat to them. Even when you got black people who have white kids, it's not like it was white people have black kids. It ain't like it was before. When a white person used to marry and have a white woman marry a black guy, that kid usually raised in a strong black community. We don't have those anymore. Now more and more mixed kids are born in white environments. The white America is more accepting of the mixed race kids. Okay, it is what it is. I see it all the time. So it's not building a black America. The mixed race people used to be part of black America. You know, they used to live in black communities.
Hey guys, hold on a second, Colin. Guys, let's get these likes up. Let's hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Now go ahead, Colin.
Yeah. So this idea, the Arabs are classified as white. You know, and most Indians, as dark as they could be, are considered themselves white, or they don't want to be considered those people. Nobody comes to join a losing team. It used to be a time where Indians and all these people would move into black communities like South Jamaica, Queens, stuff like that, and they lived among like Puerto Ricans, whatever, live among black people, and everything. That's not the case anymore. Now you got people moving into majority Latino communities, majority white communities, you know, and the black communities are in shambles. You don't have that community anymore. We decided that we want to let the gangs control our community and drive everybody out. So you have like 30 years of people not socializing with black middle class or working class black people. So their opinion on black people is largely negative or unknown. And when kids become mixed race kids, they don't have the black community to go back to, and they see role models, stuff like that look sort of like them and stuff like that. Everything they see is in the white community. So we're not benefiting from interracial marriage. It used to be a time where a person was interracial, like I said, they were part of the black community. They were accepted as part of the black community. Okay, your husband. I have my mother used to have many friends and whatnot. That had black, that had mixed race kids, stuff like that. They were like our brothers and sisters. They lived among us, stuff like that. They went to black churches, and so a lot of them went to HBCUs, stuff like that. The white whoever like the person was, they cooked black foods and everything like that. They were white. We used to call white chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Remember the term white chocolate?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? White people who just basically around black. You don't have that anymore. That does not exist anymore. That's one of the reasons why they want to destroy the black community, because that was a threat. Now interracial marriage is not a threat to white America anymore. Why? Because that kid is going to go and be in the white majority, think white, and you see it on YouTube. All these mixed races. Black people beat me up. I hate black. I saw a video yesterday. This one chick was like, big chick was like, why are these ugly black people always hate? And her boyfriend said, like, what the hell are you talking about? She goes, I used to get beat up by black kids and they're jealous of me because I got light skin and good hair and I'm mixing all stuff like that. So colorism has, instead of getting better, over the last 20-something years has gotten worse. Am I lying, Dice?
No, you're telling the truth.
Colorism has gotten worse, and it's going to keep getting worse. Why? Because everybody's selling out to white people. The rappers are sold out. The black entertainers are sold out. You know what I'm saying? The mixed race people are sold out. The Latinos are sold out. And so why wouldn't you expect the African immigrants and the black immigrants to do the same thing? Everyone's trying to survive here in America. And bottom line is black America is a liability. Nobody wants to be part of that.
Colin.
Yes.
Let's see what we got in the chat room, brother. Then we'll go ahead and close out. Shout out to Ashe Fafu Malayo Osunola. Thank you, Madu. Let's see what else we got here in the chat room. But brother, what we'll do, man, we'll go ahead and
I want to say something. A brother in the chat room, I think his name was Raz or whatever like that from Rwanda. He asked the question. I didn't see. I listened to the show. He asked, was Africans allowed in the BAIO? You are most certainly welcome in the Black African Infrastructure Organization. If you're Black African, and you're Black heritage and African heritage, you are welcome in the BAIO. You're welcome with me anytime. I don't make any distinction and everything. It's primarily an African American organization for the most part, but if you're African, you want to participate and join us and build with us, hey, sign right up. So that it'll leave you that. I want to stop this ADOS crap, Africans versus Africans. No. You want to join us and everything? Now you're gonna join us, come and help us support our cause. A lot of our brothers from Africa want to steer us toward their particular country and everything. We appreciate the love and everything, but we have to do things our way. But thanks everybody for watching tonight. And Diane, you'll put the link to the BAO in there.
Absolutely. Let me hold on one second. I'm on my laptop.
One second. I want to address that. I forgot to address that African guy, the African king, who talked about he wants to rebuild the Cathedral. Okay, Notre Dame. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let me get like 5 minutes to talk about that.
Go ahead.
Check this out. First of all, people don't understand the long-standing relationship between African traditional kings. I'm not going to talk about the Yorubas and everything. I haven't studied them,
Mm-hmm.
But I do know about the northern Nigerians, the houses and stuff like that, Emir and stuff like that. I do know about the Ivory Coast. I do know about the Ghanaians, the Ghana situation, the Gold Coast, and all the kings and everything like that. I do know about the KwaZulu-Natal and most of the African kingdoms. I do know about the Portuguese in Guinea-Bissau, not Senegal. They ran the Portuguese out of Senegal, But the whole thing is this: the relationship between African traditional kings and Europe was maintained through the colonial system. This is why in places like Ghana, there's no land ownership, right? There's no land ownership in many of these countries. The kings and all these people, the royals, are still in power. What should have happened in West Africa was all the land that they claimed should have been seized. They should have been either imprisoned or exiled and everything, and the state should have took over. The fact that the African culture wasn't strong enough to depose these so-called traditional kings shows you Africa is still in many ways not modernized. You know, in most countries in the world, when the modern government takes over, they control the land. The government controls the land. The kings remain ceremonial, like in Singapore and Malaysia. The kings and all the are ceremonial. They may have some power and everything, but all political power is vested in the constitutional elected government. You know.
I mean, well, the thing is, that's for the most part. I mean, a lot of the kings, depending where you're at, have influence, but at the end of the day, the final say is to the government.
Yeah, but
But
the
a
thing
lot
is,
of them do have a lot of pull and influence. Yes.
but the thing is, that leaves the thing. When one administration, if you had a pluralistic society, it wouldn't be a problem. But what happens is people vote. They have a power. And a lot of politicians, if they want that vote, right, they have to do the patronage of the king. Like, why do you think the king, the Ashanti, the Pakawari clan, still rules the Ashanti? He's basically saying that we're the German. He says we're the Germans of Ghana, you know, and the Fantis and all these other people, the Khans and all these people that they have a lot of political power because why? Politicians want their vote. The same thing happens in many parts of Nigeria. Why do you think people hate this guy Buhari in Nigeria? Why? Simply because he's a Hausa and he does favor Hausa policy. Houses, the Northerners. Northerners always win because they have the largest territory, you know, and they have the most Senate seats, the parliament, and stuff like that. The problem is in South Africa. Now, any politician that wants to get elected any office in thing has to have the goodwill of the King Goodwill of South Africa, of the Zulus. And he just made a statement a year ago saying that he wished that the Afrikaners were back in power, right? Because they really
Yeah, he's a clown. That's Zulu King. Now, okay, now the Zulu King is a clown.
yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
the thing is, the Afrikaners and the British put these people in power. Mandela and all these people who were nationalists wanted to do away with these people. They were throwbacks. They're redundant, right? But that's what the problem was within Kafka. And Kafka was financed and funded by the Afrikaners, right? The war in KwaZulu-Natal that took 30,000 lives, right, was a war between the Zulus. The ANC and the Pan African Congress were African nationalists, right? They saw black first. They wanted to build a modern black state. They didn't care about that. The Kakas were Zulu so-called nationalists. Okay, they wanted its KwaZulu-Natal to see become a Zulu kingdom and all this kind of nonsense. Okay, they were doing business with the Afrikaners. You know, African Zulu businessmen and everything were buying or trading. They're very wealthy. There's a lot of wealthy Zulu businessmen, like our friend on Facebook. You know, there's a lot of people. You know what I'm talking about, right? Our friend on
Oh yeah,
Facebook.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Frank. Yeah,
They
Frank.
come from that elite. They basically like the
I
old.
don't think Frank is Zulu.
He
Frank
is
is
Zulu. He's Zulu.
okay.
Yeah, he's Zulu. And so the whole thing is the reason why they have that is because it's if you let the whites have power. The Zulu Kingdom, they got cars, they got airplanes, they got investment accounts overseas. In northern Nigeria, the richest black people in the world come from northern Nigeria. Okay, their kids go to school in the same thing with the Equatorial Guinea. The oil companies overthrew a legitimate government, right? Installed this current president in the Equatorial Guinea. His son has to take in Burbank, California, to a prosecutor to ring his son in. He got yachts and Lamborghinis all over the world, stealing the country's wealth. This is what's going on in Africa. But we don't say anything as African Americans because when we go there, as soon as we see that dashiki and robe and everything, we just Hakuna Matata. I'm in Africa and everything. And we sit there and co-sign outright thieves and crooks. You know? It's like Hakuna Matata. I'm in Africa. But you know this guy's a crook, he's a race trader and everything, and he stands against everything you do. That's why a lot of people in Ghana right now, like, why are we not making any progress? Why? Because the people that in power have no desire to that. You know, the bottom line is the kings and everything control the land. You ain't paying them on a 99-year lease. They're not sending their kids to the best college, and they got in Dubai and everything. While you're sitting there struggling trying to put some African American program in Ghana on, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to go anyplace. You know. So,
What kind of program? What kind of program?
An African American program with our African friends and everything. Well, and now your brother, the dude was saying last night on your show, he's absolutely right. You know, it's like it gets redundant after a while. It's like, why a simple thing like roads can't go out because there's no central planning? You know, nobody wants to do that. You know, it takes hard work to build a nation. You know, it takes a government and private sector working together. Nobody wants to do that. You know, everybody's more concerned about what cars they have and all this kind of nonsense and everything. So it is what it is. That's why we have to do that. I like what you're doing in Lagos. I do believe Lagos can be a powerful city, linking the diaspora with Africa. I do believe that. You hear me, guys? I said
Yes.
Lagos, Nigeria is going to be a city.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
It's going to be a city. That's the place that should be our world headquarters as far as Africans or Lagos. Now we're going to branch out to Rwanda and all these other countries, but I think as far as business is concerned, it is going to be Lagos, Nigeria.
Well, yeah, it is. It is already.
Yeah, that's going to be a powerful city. Lagos is going to rival all these cities in the world. You know, I see that, and that's going to be our gateway to the continent. From banks to insurance companies to engineering firms and everything, we want to put this all together. You know, and we're going to launch this thing from Nigeria. You know, all throughout the continent, wherever we want to go, wherever we want to do. But like I said, I don't really have faith in a lot of these countries that still can't get their land ownership thing right, and tribalism and all this kind of tomfoolery and everything. I look at what's going on in Zimbabwe and South Africa, and please don't talk about. We're going to talk about that next time about Paul Kagame. We're going to go in. In fact, we're going to do a show Sunday. Let's talk all about Paul Kagame. Let's talk about.
Okay, let's do it. You know, I'm down for that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Paul Kagame. We're going to put the Paul Kagame. So go out there.
I mean, just Paul Kagame right now is a scapegoat for all the coonery that's going on.
Of course, of course.
And that part of he's a scapegoat.
You know who killed Nipsey Russell?
Paul Kagame.
Paul Kagame did. You know what I'm saying? You know who sunk the Titanic?
Paul Kagame.
Yeah, okay. You know who assassinated Martin Luther King?
Paul Kagame.
Yeah, Paul Kagame. There you go. Who caused the cyclone in Mozambique?
Paul Kagame.
Paul Kagame. You know, blame it on Kagame.
He used HARP so he could go in and steal all the natural resources. He used
HARP.
He called the cyclone. Yeah. Kagame.
So the Haiti, what's going on in Haiti? Those people that were mercenaries with the Haiti, who did that?
Paul Kagame.
Of course. Paul Kagame. Just blame it on Kagame. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Let's say I have a PhD and a doctorate in Negroism. You know what I'm saying? The Negro mentality is in America and it's in Africa. You know, I have a PhD. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I might have a book coming on how to deal with the world Negro problem. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you write that book, it'll hit the New York best time.
So, of course, so I'll be a bestseller.
New York seller, the New York best time seller list. If you write that book, easy.
Yeah. So join us in the BAL. Somebody want to put the link in the chat room?
No, I'm trying to put it. I'm on my laptop, so let me hold on. What's BAL? Hold on a second. Let's see. Okay, BAIO. Was it Afrikstan?
Yeah, Afrikstan with a K.org.
Cool, there we go, man. Cool. All right, brother. Hey, well, Colin, we appreciate you coming on. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Anytime. Everyone, please hit that like button as we go. Please share. Please go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, Search for Uhuru. Peace.